Good morning, all. Python is an object-oriented programming like classes, objects. It's a kind of a structured and functional programming has been supported in a Python programming language. Here we have some of the object programming concepts over here. Yeah, class variable, data member, and instance variable, object, and then method, and we have an function overloading, we have an operator overloading, we have an inheritance. These are all the some of the parameters of the object oriented programming that we will see over here today. To start with, a class is basically an user defined prototype or a data structure. It defines a group of attributes that has the same characteristics. For example, a student, all the students will have the same characteristics, uh, denotes the same characteristics can be listed. For example, all the students will have the name, all the students will have the department, all the students will have the mark, all the students will have the attendance, all the students will have the exams. Like that, all the particular characteristics can be structured in a manner is the class basically. Basically, the class does the logical grouping of data and its respective member functions. The attributes or something, it can be a data members like variables and instance variables, and we have an methods, and all these data members and methods are accessed by the dot notations. Shall we start development of a simple class over here, a student? Maybe I'm going to write it over here. It's loaded and I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create a new Python file over here, which is an class demo.py. In order to define a class, we will use the keyword called class. Class is the keyword to define a class in a Python. And we have the class name. I'm going to give the class name as student and over here. And we can define that the member function within that class, something like def. Maybe I'm going to create a constructor over here for this class, and I'm going to put pause something. If suppose we does not wanted to do anything, we can put a pause over here, and maybe we just created a student and then constructor. Then it is fine to have create the instance for that class basically. Over here, that maybe I can create an instance s equals s equals s equals the student over here, and I have created. Now maybe we can do that, run this program, class demo, which something like I got created the instance and the instance is closed. Maybe I'm going to use a print constructor is called over here. And I'm going to put a pause over here, and maybe we can put a breakpoint over here. I'm going to debug this program, debug class demo. Now the program control is going to create an instance for this student class. If suppose I'm going to execute this like a debugging option step over, which is something like a executes complete one function and goes to the next line. I'm going to do that with the step over. It executed and created the instance. If we see the console, we got the print of constructor is get called. Basically, the constructor will be get called whenever there is an whenever we are trying to create an object or instance to that particular class. Basically, now we are going to run this again. We are continuing the recipe, and the process got killed over here. And the similar way, similar to constructor, we can add a member functions and member variables, something like this. Maybe I'm going to add a member function, member variable, something like self dot name equals empty string and self dot marks equals 0. And I'm going to define another function def set values over here, and I'm going to pass something like two parameters, something like name and marks over here. And using that, maybe I'm going to update the name of the name member variable of the class from the member function arguments, and same way self dot marks, I'm going to update the marks to that. And once it got updated, maybe we can use self diff another function to show values over here with self, and here I'm going to define something like print student secured marks over here dot format like self dot name and then self dot marks over here. And these member functions can be called from here, something like s dot set values with the help of maybe Hariharan, and then the marks can be a 450 over here. And I'm going to create a call another function to show values over here. Now we can able to see that whenever we call these set values, these member function variables are updated and we can able to get the result over here. I'm going to run this class demo. Now we got the output student Hariharan secured 450 marks with the show values. Using the set value function, we are updating the values into the class, and using the show values, we are getting the print or data of the member function. Here we shall go into the some more concepts of the object-oriented programming over here. Like we define something like a global variable. That global variable can be used anywhere within the class, and the similar to function. In function, what we did was something like this. Maybe I am going to have this function, not this. I think, yeah, this one. Yeah, here we define something like a global is the one tag is used to define that particular variable as a global variable. The similar way inside this class, we can use something like I'm going to create, yeah, college, maybe uh, empty, and within this, I'm going to set this global college over here, and whenever we do print college equals maybe Satya Obama over here, and before here, if suppose we print over here, I'm going to print it on, I'm going to add this in a constructor to update the global variable as the college over here, and maybe I'm going to print college name dot format of college over here. Then the same way we can print after the instance created over here. Whenever we do that, I'm going to run this. That whatever be the global variable we have updated within the class, that will be applied over here automatically in the global scope of variables. That can be applied for if suppose we have multiple classes present in our program, something like a global class 1 and class 2, all will be applicable with the global data, same global data over here. And then we have the some of the object oriented programming, something like class variables. For example, here in our program, the self dot name and marks are the class variables, and we have that data members or something like a set value. The, sorry, uh, data members which has that which holds the data associated with the class and its objects, something like over here, which is similar to the data member that we will see with the special tag of class uh, class class variable that we will see the in the upcoming uh, uh, over here. And we have an instance variable. And instance is the variable defined inside a method, and it belongs to the only the current instance. For example, here we have an self is the instance variable which belongs to this instance basically over here. And we have an option, something like instance, which is individual object of the class belongs to that particular class. Here we have an S is an instance to that class student over here, and using the instance we are calling the member function and member variables over here. And similar way what we did, we can able to do that, uh, we can access that the member variables directly over here. S dot name equals maybe Navy, over here and s dot marks equals 540 over here, and we can I'm going to comment these set values that we can able to see that instead of calling a function and we are updating the values, we can directly update the member variables. For example, name and marks are the member variables that we can able to access with the s.name and s.marks over here, and we can see how it works. And something, it has been s.name, the instance s dot the member variable name has been updated over here, and s dot marks, that member variable is updated over here. And whenever we are calling the show values using this instance, that instance is having the values of name and marks has been set over here, that we got the print output over here. And this is something like we can I are accessing that members using the instance basically. Then we have different concepts, some more concepts, something like a method. Method is a special kind of a function that is defined within the class. For example, here we have two different methods, set values and show values, or two different methods of this student class basically. And we have an object. Object is an unique instance of the data structure that's defined by its class, contains both data members and methods. Basically, that object is the one which is similar to instance that we have created this object s, and it contains and it holds that the member variables, name, marks, and the respective methods like set values, all it contains is called an object basically. And we have the concept like inheritance. Inheritance is transfer of one class characteristics to another class. For example, we can take an example of a fruit is a class, and mango will have most of the properties of the fruit, and the fruit class properties can be derived to the mango, that is called transfer of characteristics to other class. And then we have the option something like a function overloading. It's something like that we will see with the option of having more than one function with different arguments that we will see. And we have an operator overloading. It's something like, for example, we have the option something like in order to concatenation the two strings, we can use s1 plus s2 that it got added. In order to add two tuples or two lists, we are adding something like list1 plus list2, two lists are added and we got that output. The similar way that we have actually plus has been overloaded to do that respective function that we can able to do with the operator overloading over here. And then we have the concept of constructor and destructor. A constructor is a method will be get called whenever the object got created. The syntax of the constructor is def init of self. Basically, here we have an option that, for example, I'm going to do something like if suppose I did not define a constructor over here, and I'm going to run this example. Yeah, it's basically the default constructor will be present is something like the def underscore init of self. If suppose even if we does not define that constructor, the constructor will be automatically present over here. in the Python programming. Default constructor does not accept any arguments. For example, we cannot give any arguments to that constructor. Maybe I am trying to give Hari my name to the constructor and I'm going to run this. I got an error something like objects takes no parameters because the default syntax of the constructor is def underscore underscore init only self. It does not accept any arguments. Now we will see how can we do with the constructor with parameters and arguments that we can see over here. For example, I'm going to define another constructor def underscore underscore init self comma name over here. Maybe self comma name comma marks. Maybe we can do first self comma name comma marks. Like that we can provide the arguments to the constructor, and whenever we do self dot name equals name and self dot marks equals marks over here. Now we can able to call this constructor with the help of passing name and then the marks with the arguments over here. Now I'm going to comment these two things, and now the expected is whenever we are initiating the creating the object, we are passing the constructor with the two arguments name and marks. That name and marks will come to this constructor and it updates into the variable over here. That we will see how it works. I'm going to run this. Yeah, it's basically this is a kind of parametric constructor of the Python which we can define to provide an arguments. By default, there will be a constructor which does not receive any arguments. If suppose we wanted to create our own constructor with the argument, we can do that with the def underscore underscore init self, and then we can add how many arguments we wanted to have in the parametric constructor that we can define over here in our class. And the similar way we have the destructor, which is a method which will be going to call at the time of object is going to destroy. That the syntax for that is default underscore underscore del of self. That is the default destructor method, and I'm going to define def underscore underscore del over here. Print destructor called over here. And in order for this, I have the breakpoint over here, and we have created the object, and the object, using the object we are showing the values, and we are going to pause over here, and after the pause, before the program is going to exit, the object, whichever object created, yes, will has to be destroyed, or that particular memory has to be freed up. During the memory freed up and the particular object is going to be destroyed, the destructor will be get called. Maybe I'm going to run this class demo. Yeah, the program, it reached over here, and I'm going to resume this operation. It reaches the pause, and it provided that show values has been updated, and I'm going to run it again. Yeah. And after the running of the student created, and whenever the program is going to finish, before that the respective objects created in this Python program will be destructed use whenever that particular object is going to be destroyed, the destructor function will be get called in the Python. And the Python programming has the garbage collector which handles the memory management automatically. Because of that, destructor may not be used as much. It will be used very less comparing to other programming language like C++ and Java, that we will use the destructor in a very limited manner in the Python programming. Okay, now we will move forward. Now we will move forward with the access modifier. It's something like we have the variables or member functions with the public, protected, and private. Here we have by default all the members in the class are public by default in the Python. It can be accessed from the basically the public modify access provides, it can be accessed from outside the class. For example, here we have created something like set value is the method, and name and marks are the members. All are public. It can be accessed outside this class over here. For example, we can able to access s.setValues, s.name, and s.marks. All can be accessed from outside over here. And in case of a protected, with the if suppose we wanted to define a variable as a protected access, we will use underscore, and this is the one which can be accessible to the class derived from the base class. And this should be programmer should avoid using this from outside of the class basically. And we have another option, something like a private, which is the one which is prefixed with a double underscore, and it can be accessible only within the class. It cannot be accessible outside of the class. Maybe I am going to declare a variable. Yeah, maybe I'm going to create the new file class private.py over here, and I'm just going to copy the control complete content to this, and here instead of having the name, I'm going to create a variable as double underscore, so that this variable will be a private variable over here. Double underscore name and double underscore marks, and then the similar way I'm going to use double underscore name and double underscore marks over here. Now maybe I'm going to call a constructor over here. S equals student of the default constructor I'm going to call, and after that I'm going to update that name equals maybe Hariharan, and s dot underscore underscore marks equals 540. I'm going to run this over here, run class private. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm going to enable this in order to use the default constructor as well. Yeah, I'm going to use the default constructor over here, and I'm going to run this. uh, it says something like student object has no attribute student underscore underscore name over here. Even though we have the attribute of underscore underscore name, but we have the values uh, uh, student object does not have the name is the uh, variable is present, does not present over there, because it's something we can say that the private variable cannot be accessed outside of the class. Because of that we got this error. The student object does not have any attribute as name basically over here. Yeah, this is something, if suppose we wanted to restrict that the variables that should be accessed within that function only, then we can use the private uh, variable. We can define that particular variable as a private variable using the underscore underscore over here. Now maybe I am going to how we can update the private variable. Then we can use the function something like set values. We are calling the methods over here, and using the method we can able to update that the private variables within the class. Then we can access that particular variable within the class itself basically. Now if suppose I am going to run this, yeah, now we got something like a student Hariharan secured 450 marks. We are calling set value member function using this object, and this member has been passed with the values, and we are updating that these private variables within the class, and we are reading back the data of private variable within the class using the show value member function basically. This provides some kind of a highly restricted access to that particular variable, so that externally we cannot able to access that the private data which is handled within that class basically over here. And and we will move forward with the inheritance. It's something like we have the class, the fruit is the class properties of the fruit can be derived to the mango, and properties of the fruit can be derived to the another class apple. For example, mango is also an fruit, apple is also an fruit, but these two will have different characteristics, but the base of this is a fruit is the one. This is something kind of deriving the properties is called a single inheritance. It's something like deriving from the base class to uh, child class is a single inheritance. Maybe we can see over here how can we do that inheritance. I'm going to define a class, maybe inherit inheritance.py over here, and maybe I'm going to create a class of fruit, and then maybe def underscore underscore init of self. Then I does not have going to have something, and maybe I'm going to define, yeah, get taste can be written sweet over here. And for example, I'm going to create another class which is an class mango, and which is an child class for a base class of fruit. For that we have to give the option within this within parentheses, which makes that the mango is the child class of the fruit over here. And we can use something like def underscore init of self, and I'm going to do pause over here. And if suppose uh, I'm going to call this function, for example, here we have something like init. If suppose we wanted to call the base class constructor as well, that we can use something like a fruit dot underscore init, like that we can call, or we have the option. This is one way of calling the base class, constructor. uh, uh, the similar way we can use a super is the function that can be used to call all the base classes of that particular class. For example, mango has the base class fruit. For example, fruit has another base class. If you wanted to get call all the base class initialization, then we have to use the function called super of init, so that it just calls all the constructors over here. Now I am going to create how the properties get inherited into this child class of mango. That maybe we will see here m equals mango over here, and I'm going to do m dot, we have an option get taste. Basically the get taste is the member function of the fruit, but there is no get taste member function present inside the mango class. The get taste is the function member present in the base class of fruit over here. Since we have derived this mango from a fruit, for example, I'm going to remove this. Yeah, maybe we will run this first. Yeah, I will do print mango taste is over here dot format over here. If we run this, sorry, I ran the different one. I'm going to run this, and inheritance we need to run, and we got that mango taste is sweet, that we are returning the sweet from the base class. If suppose I am going to remove this, control X, that if we run this inheritance, then we get an error, something like a mango object does not have attribute of get taste, because this class does not have the member function of get taste. And if suppose we are deriving this from the base class parent class of fruit, then the parent class, all the characteristics which is public and private, that will be available, public and protected, that will be available to its child class, and the child class can able to access this its member function and uh, member variables over here. This is kind of inheriting the properties over here. The similar way we can do another class apple. It's also a fruit, and we can do that. I'm going to copy this, and inside this I'm going to define another function get taste over here, and return it will be salty over here. And here I'm going to do that something a equals apple, and I'm going to copy this, and apple taste is format of A over here, and if we run this inheritance, we got mango taste is sweety and apple taste is salty. Here, since the mango class does not have the member function like a get taste, it uses the base class get taste member, and it returns the base class properties. And if suppose here we have an apple that has it has a different property, and it has the properties of fruit, but it is little different from that fruit, that we are updating that over here with the member function got updated, and we are returning the salty, and it's the apple is will be little salty over here. Like, we can get the properties of the base class, and if suppose we wanted to modify in the child class some of the characteristics, we can do that with the by updating that the respective member function and variables inside the child class basically over here. This provides some kind of a single inheritance, and we have the option something like a multiple level inheritance, something like a multi-level from the fruit mango and mango to Malgova, that we will see over here. Maybe I'm going to define another class over here, class Malgova, which is a base class of mango over here. And I'm going to use the default constructor. And maybe I'm going to give something like a def get taste of mango. Malgova is more sweet over here. And if suppose I'm going to create the similar way, this is we are planning with only two properties like a get taste. It can be like a multiple properties. Some of the properties can be changed in the child class, some of the properties can be derived from its base class, and some of the properties can be retained from the fruit class basically. For example, fruit will have some of the properties, and mango can override some of the properties, and Malgova can override some of the properties. For example, we can have fruit with the 100 properties, and mango can override some kind of 20 properties of the base class, and Malgova may update another 10 properties in order to get its 100 properties from the base class and of fruit, and it has been updated with its own properties accordingly over here. And this is some kind of a multi-level inheritance, something like a fruit has a base class, fruit is a base class, and from the fruit we are getting a mango, and from the mango we are getting a Malgova. In mango, the classification again is the Malgova. Like that, we can able to define that our own multi-level inheritance over here. And whenever we run this, I'm going to do maybe we can I'm going to do this, and Malgova over here. Malgova, I'm going to create the constructor, and then I'm going to get the taste of Malgova over here. And whenever we run this, we got, sorry, it has to be updated, Malgova over here. Whenever we run this, we got something like a Malkova taste is more sweet, and it's something like it has been updated in the Malkova. The taste properties is that's not updated in mango, and it has uh, it has been not updated. It has updated like a sweet in the fruit, but it has been updated like a more sweet in the Malkova that we got it from this class. For example, instead of here, suppose we have this function, we are put into this over here. We will see whether we are getting more sweet or sweet for this Malkova. Now the mango has the get taste properties of more sweet, and fruit has the get taste properties of sweet over here. And I'm going to run this inheritance. Now we got something like a Malgova taste is more sweet. Whenever we are calling that particular property or particular member, it will just check whether the that particular member function is present inside this current class. If it does not present, it checks is that it will just checks in the immediate parent class whether that function is present. If it is present, it will get execute, and if that also not if its immediate parent also not having that particular member function, then it uses that the it's next to parent parent member function basically. For example, suppose it does not have the function of get taste in mango as well, then you'll see what it works. Mango taste is sweet. For example, we are calling the get taste over here, which does not, the get taste member function does not present in the Malgova, and its base class is mango. Here we are checking it, the get taste function member is not present in mango as well, and it has been present in mango's base class, mango's parent class, which is an fruit, which contains that get taste function member that has been executed over here. This is something like deriving the properties of fruit to the multiple level over here, which is called multi-level inheritance. The similar way we can do that multiple inheritance from two different class, we can have create a single class. How we can do that? Maybe I'm going to create uh, a class called salad. Salad is the class which I'm going to create with the help of two base classes, something like mango, comma, apple over here. Hello? Yeah. I will mute all. Yeah. Is the base class which has the two multiple base class. Salad is based on two base classes, something like mango and apple over here, and I'm going to define this over here. And if suppose we have the option salad S equals salad of here, and yeah, it here we have now we can see that something like salad taste is salty, something like we have the salad has two base classes mango and apple. Then we are calling a member function, or we are trying to get the property of a taste over here, and the mango does not have any member function of get taste, but Apple has the get taste function that will be get called if suppose we do the multiple inheritance, something like two base classes are used to derive a single child class, which is called an multiple inheritance basically over here. Now we will move forward with further class programming with the help of something like a operator overloading special functions. That something we can use. Um, for example, we have an we wanted to add two operators with the help of P1 plus P2, something like that we can able to do that similar with the add over here. That maybe we can add a we can create an operator overloading function over here. That maybe I have that option. We can create an operator overloader with the help of def underscore underscore add, and the other an uh, can be a value, and we can use something like I'm going to use Apple. Uh, I'm going to return Apple dot get taste over here, and I'm going to define, for example, I have this, and here I have created this. We have a salad over here, and it has to be added. For example, I'm going to add print uh, self dot get taste plus apple dot get taste. Maybe I'm going to add something like a space in between over here, and we can get that string. I'm going to get print taste of salad plus apple is dot format. Maybe I'm going to do s plus a. Actually, S is an object, A of salad, A is an object of apple. We are trying to add both both these objects. In that we are doing basically we cannot add and two object, but we have provided some kind of a operator overloading that provides what is the functionality it has to do whenever we do this operation on this salad, on this object basically. Now we will see what we are getting over here. Whenever we run, we get taste of salad is apple. For example, I, is salty and salty over here. That's something. It's something like we got the salty, and we have apple dot get taste also will be a salty. Because of that, we got that output of over here. For example, if suppose we have added this into the same into this mango over here, or mango or malgova over here, and we can get that. I'm going to get it um, print a taste of malgova plus Apple, I'm going to do mal plus object Malkova object plus a. I'm going to adding to these two things, and I got something like a sweet salty over here. Sweet that whatever, for example, we are doing the addition of two objects, but we have overridden with that function. Whenever there is an addition is happening with respect to that object, what we need to do that we can be overridden with this function is called operator overloading with a function. That, for example, we cannot do this if suppose we the plus operation will not work if there is an or if particular operator is not overloaded. For example, I just commented this Malkova, the operator overloading here, and I'm going to run. It says that unsupported operand type plus Malkova is an object, Apple is an object, which both cannot able to do an additional operation. Now, this additional operation has been overloaded with a function underscore underscore add, and we are trying to create that the overloaded output accordingly over here. This provides basically adds that to the we are trying to create something like adding two objects is adding two tastes over here, something like adding a two student object can be adding two marks, adding a two colleges can be adding two colleges, student count, adding something like that we can able to implement the operator overloading accordingly. The similar to this addition, we have multiple things can be done. For the subtraction, we have to use underscore underscore sub. Similar to this underscore underscore add, we have to use underscore underscore sub, and multiply. If it is a power, then we have to use PWO and true division, floor division, and modulus, left shift, right shift, AND operation, OR operation, XOR operation, and invert operation. All those operation and operator can be overloaded with these special functions in by adding into the class basically. And then we have the option something like another comparison operator overloading that can be done with the less than is LT, less than equal is LE, and equals is EQ, and NE is not equal, GT is greater than, and GE is greater than and equal over here. This provides some kind of a overloading, operator overloading in object-oriented programming. And similar way, we can do that. The we can do that. We can do that. All the operators can be overridden with the help of this by adding this the respective defined function. For example, here we can get this function by providing, if we type with the auto completion, it's something like a del absolute boolean seal copy ascenter exit. All those things will be added over, can be get overridden over here. For example, G is greater than, like that we can do the operator overloading accordingly. The similar way, then we have the option something like class methods. Yeah. Any doubts? Okay, fine. Yeah. We have the we can define a class methods which is a method which is bound to that class, which basically receives an argument as the first argument uh, over here, and that we can able to use that class method to define a or to create a class create an object that we will see how we can able to create. For example, here we have that salad is the one that contains over here, and instead of that maybe we can create something like I'm going to create object is the one I'm going to create something over here, and class over here, and inside the class I'm going to do CLS of here. We can currently we did something like salad. Whenever we call salad of here, that creates an object over here. Instead of that, maybe we can use something like this: s equals salad dot create object over here, which creates an object s over here. Now we will run this program. Yeah, we can create an object indirectly over here, something like salad dot create object that we can call, and we provide this class as an argument. The salad is the class we are providing the argument. Using that, we could be able to create the class object internally, and we can able to provide it on the variable s. This is called an class object. The class object, which is an bounded inside the class, and which receives that class as a first argument implicitly. For example, here we are passing an argument salad as implicitly over here to create a class object over here, and basically it does not need to have class instance to access, and it takes an basically that in order to call this method, we does not have need to create an instance. We can use this function with the help of directly with the class name that we can able to call this function. And in order to define that, we can use the decorator class method over here, but we can define the class method over here, which defines that particular class as a class method, that particular method as a class method over here. And yeah. Yeah. Now we got that executed. Whenever we do salad.create object, the salad has been passed implicitly, and it got created with the instant objects, and the object is stored over here. This is a kind of a class method that can be used over here with the class method decorator. And similar to this, we have an static method. Static method is the one which is bound to that class but not bound to that object. For example, I'm going to define another one, something like a default get color of self, maybe return salad can be yellowish red. I'm going to put some colors I'm going to define. For example, in order to access this any member function, we need a instance basically. over here. For example, we can do that something like uh, salad color is s dot get color. I'm going to run. Maybe we got something like a salad color is yellowish red with the help of instance or object created used for this class. We can define that this particular method as a static method so that the method can the static method can be accessed um, without that object. For example, we can call this by we can call this function by directly the salad dot get color. We have not created any instance of objects over here. We are directly calling that function. Maybe I'm going to put over here salad color directly. I'm calling over here. Yeah, it's something like salad dot color has been called. If suppose if it is not a static function, we cannot call this without an object. For example, uh, uh, without an if suppose we have that without an object, it cannot be called over here. I just commented this over here, and it has the method usually should be self in case of not a static method over here. Yeah. Now it basically used to create it since it is a static method, it cannot access or modify the class state. For example, if suppose I'm going to change something like uh, maybe self dot name equals salad over here, and if suppose we have the option something like it does not have the if we wanted to update, then we have to pass that argument. Without the argument, if suppose we are changing the name to something like uh, it's mixer, maybe I'm going to change it as a juice. If suppose we are printing it again with the object, it will not get changed. For example, I'm going to print this name is name over here, and actually we are changing the whenever we are calling the get color, the name has been changed to the juice, but we will see what will happen over here. And I'm going to call this function, and I'm going to update over here. And we will see that there is the salad name is salad, and even though we have changed this we will try to change this objects the member value to juice. It does not get changed because the static variable static member function or cannot access or cannot modify the class state. It can be used to create some utility function basically over here. This provides an object-oriented programming concepts in Python. That what we have seen something like we have gone through that the object-oriented programming, how we can create or define a class, and how can we add a member function, how can we use that global data over here, and adding a member variables and member methods, and different methods, something like method, object, inheritance. In the inheritance, we have single level inheritance, multi level inheritance, multiple inheritance. We have seen all those types, and we have seen a function overloading, and we have seen an operator overloading, and we have seen something like a constructor and destructor. We have seen over the access modifier and operator overloading with the different special functions over here. Okay. And we have seen the different class methods and static methods to create a static function. Class method in case of a to create a class using, instead of directly creating the object, we can use the class method to create an object basically. After this, we have an module. It's something like whenever we are developing that Python program, it cannot be, all the functionality cannot be present in one single file. It can be something like multiple modules can be present for the application development, which provides some kind of a flexibility to organize the Python source code. For example, module 1, module 2, module 3, and application uses these 3 modules, and it can be developed basically, which makes that code easier to understand and use. Modular implementation or modular based development provides a flexibility to easily understand and effective useness, and we can validate the modules separately, each module separately, and each module can be developed by different developers, and application developer can focus on using those modules only. Like kind of a modular approach is provided with the help of modules over here. It basically defines functions, classes, and variables within a module. And if suppose we wanted to use that module in another application, we just need to use by importing that particular module over here. For example, here we have an standard OS module, and it has different module functions. For example, I'm going to use in the Python console, maybe clear all. Yeah. I'm going to do import. OS is imported OS module, and OS dot, maybe I'm going to get that particular function. It's something like maybe get current working directory is the one. OS dot get current working directory, which is something like current working directory is users, Nivi, PyCharm, and Python program is the current working directory. Like that, yeah, module can be created with multiple functions, and that functions can be imported and used in our application. For example, here, maybe we can choose a simple one, which is an find bug, which over here, that's something like find big is the function over here. And I'm going to add a new Python file, module demo.py over here. Since that findbug.py is present inside our in the same directory, I'm going to import find bug over here. And Inside that, I'm going to create return equals find bug dot find big, and I'm going to check 10 comma 5 over here, and with that I'm going to compare the return a is bigger or not over here in the module from using the module. If suppose I'm going to run this module demo, we got basically that we should not use this. The module should have only the functions. It should not any functionality should be present inside the module over here usage. Because of that, we got 2 times printed, and maybe I'm going to run it again. Yeah. Now we got the output A is bigger. Here, what we did is something like we have imported a module, a findBug.py, which is present in current directory to the module demo.py, and we are accessing that whatever be the functions, member functions present inside that particular module, that we can able to access it over here. For example, the similar way we can use that class demo. Maybe I'm going to create a class over here. Instead of that, uh, maybe we can. I'm going to create maybe another class, a Python file student.py over here, and I'm going to copy this the content of student class, and maybe I'm going to clear this. This operations over here, and inside that the module demo, we can do the import the student. Maybe I'm going to do import import student over here, and maybe we can use to create that instance by using s equals student dot student is a class which is present inside the student module, which is an student.py. I'm going to create a constructor over here, and it has the constructor with the name, and mocks is the constructor it has, and I'm going to add it up something like Hariharan, and then the mocks is 450 over here. And the same way we can use to access that value with the help of s.show values over here uh, in my module, in my module application, which uses that student 2 modules. It has been imported, find bug, and then student. These are all the 2 modules has been imported, and we are checking that over here, and maybe we can. I'm going to define something like a s1 and s2 is the one student dot student maybe Navy, and then the mocks is 540 over here, and maybe I'm going to do something like this, and return equals find bug dot find big, and we have s dot mocks comma s2 dot mocks over here to compare, and if return over here, then print uh, student scored high marks over here, that dot format of s dot name over here. The similar way I'm going to do else colon print over here. I'm going to copy this and s2 dot name over here. And here we are using something like two different modules. One is find big and another one is student, that we created two students and comparing the two marks with the find big, which is present in the find bug module over here. And I'm going to run this here. Here we in order for the show values, it provided something like student Hariharan secured 450 marks has been shown over here. Maybe if suppose we does not shown that, we will be getting something like a student Navy scored high marks, because the student Navy has the 540 and this one has the 440. This is a simple demo of how we can define a module and how can we use that module into our application basically over here. And here, this is something kind of a sample module, how we can able to use the import and we can add it into our file, and how can we execute that member function or class, how can we use that class present in that particular module, how can we use the functions present in the in that particular module basically. Here we have the two terms. We will have something like a function and methods over here. What is the difference between the function and methods? Both are same, but we will use to denote the functions present inside the class, or we will use the term called methods if suppose, for example, set values and show values are methods of student class. And in case of a find bug, here we have an does not have any class. The find big is a function which is present inside the module. Basically, method is the function of a class. If there is no class, we will term all rest of the things as a function basically over here. Here, this is a with this, we are winding up with the Python object-oriented programming with the class, objects, and inheritance, and static method, class methods, and different level of inheritance, and different how can we use that operator overloading with the special functions that we have seen over here. That tomorrow we shall plan something like in the real time extracting the Excel data, and how can we do the analytics, and how can we create an analytical output from the Excel sheet of data. That we will see on tomorrow. Please ping me if you have any doubts. Okay, fine. Thank you. If you does not have any doubts, we can wind up the session for the day today. Thank you.